And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sawyer Center on the campus of Southern Nazarene University here in a very cold and wet Bethany, Oklahoma. Lots of rain, sleet, snow on the outside, but in the gym, conference play begins tonight for the Crimson Storm and the Ouachita Baptist Tigers. Of course, both schools already into conference play a little bit, but the rest of the way, it's all Great American Conference action from here until the conference tournament in Bartlesville in March. And of course, that is the intense part of the schedule, and the Crimson Storm looking to build on a strong close to 2018. Crimson Storm with a win over Oklahoma Christian back on December 14th, an 89-77 victory over their crosstown rival, and then a close 74-65 loss to number 23 Central Oklahoma on the 18th. But both games here at the Sawyer Center saw the Crimson Storm put up a valiant effort in both, particularly the win over the Eagles again on the 14th. But certainly a lot of fight from the Crimson Storm in that close loss to the Broncos as well to close out the 2018 portion of their schedule. Plenty of things for head coach Trent May to be excited about, but still a lot of questions coming into this half of the season as we get conference play started in earnest tonight. The good thing for the Crimson Storm here, 2 home games to start the 2019 portion of the schedule. Tonight, again, taking on Ouachita Baptist, and on Saturday they will face Henderson State to get into this portion of the Great American Conference schedule. And home cooking has been the theme so far for the Crimson Storm, a wide disparity in their performances so far. They're 2-1 at home, 3-1 if you count the homecoming exhibition win back in November. 2-1 in the games that count here at the Sawyer Center, and their play has been much, much better here at the Sawyer Center as opposed to on the road. They are 0-4 on the road and 0-3 in neutral site games so far this season, and the disparity has been wide enough to really cause Coach Trent May excitement to be at home here for these first 2 games of 2019. For SNU tonight, you'll see a couple new starters for the Crimson Storm. Joining Adrian Berry, Abby Nehus, and Alexis Jones in the starting lineup will be Irene Perez, as well as senior Madeline Schrupfer. Those two have come a long way so far this season. Their play's improved over the course of the year and just bring the sort of energy that Coach May is looking for and the leadership that he's looking for from his team. Still a lot of question marks in that regard as far as the leadership goes on this squad. Coach May still searching for those people who are going to be vocal and energetic, and at this point, those are the ones who are going to play as opposed to sheer production on the court. And that's been the case, or that would be the case for the Crimson Storm and the change in the starting lineup tonight. Freshman Casey Glover will be coming off the bench now, as well as sophomore Kennedy Gillette. Both of those have seen their shooting percentages nosedive as the season has gone along. Glover had a great start to the season, had a strong showing in the win over East Central and in a few of the losses early in the season, but ever since has really struggled from the floor. Gillette, after a strong freshman campaign last year, shooting just 20% from three-point range and 25.9% from the field. Glover is also under 30% from the field. So probably a welcome change for both of those players and for the Storm as a whole. We'll see if that shakes both of them out of their shooting slump, because SNU could certainly use them from an offensive standpoint. They come into tonight averaging just 58.4 points per game so far this season. With those last 2 games, again, an 89-point showing against Oklahoma Christian and a 65-point showing against UCO. So a little bit above their season averages in those last 2 games. Certainly reason for optimism going forward, again, here at the Sawyer Center to start the 2019 portion of the schedule. The Tigers come into tonight's game leading the all-time series 7-5, and they've won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two squads. Last year here at the Sawyer Center, Ouachita Baptist won by a single point over the Crimson Storm, 69-68. And the last time SNU was victorious against the Tigers was in 2017 here in Bethany in a 90-62 win over the Tigers. Tigers come into tonight's game 4-6 this season. They are 2-2 in Great American Conference play and enter on a 2-game losing streak. Taking a look at the OBU roster here, they're led in scoring by Olivia Huell. She's averaging 13.1 points per game. 37.5-point three-point shooter, and she is second on the team in rebounds as well at 7.2 rebounds per game. She is a 5'8" senior out of Malvern, Arkansas. Number 22, Eden Crow, second on the team in scoring, 11.9 points per game. She also leads the team in rebounding at 7.6 per game. And 75% foul shooter as well. It's third on the team in makes there and attempts. And Crow, 5'11" sophomore from Texarkana, Arkansas. As far as other leaders for this team, Madison Britton leads them in three-point shooting. She's 19-48 for the season, and she's shooting 39.6 from long range. She's averaging 11.5 points per game there. 6-foot junior, so a lot of height here for the Tigers as far as their primary weapons offensively. For SNU, it's been about trying to find a balance and getting into some sort of rhythm shooting the basketball. They're just shooting just 29% from three-point range and 37% from the floor overall this season. Just have not been able to find any sort of consistent rhythm, and that goes for all comers outside of Abby Nehus, who's number 14 in the conference in field goal percentage. She's also number 13 in rebounding at 6 per game. And she's the number 1 shot blocker in the conference. 26 blocks, good for a whole block per game, better than the second leader. It's 2.6 per game. Alexis Jones, the only one of the Crimson Storm in as far as the conference standings go of note. She's number 2 in assists per game, averaging 4.3 assists per game so far this season. And it's good to see that, as Jones has also had a tough go of it from the field. She's shooting just 31.7% so far this season and 14.3% from three-point range. So just a tough start for her so far this season offensively, but she is doing a lot of the little things, rebounding and distributing, that Coach Trent May needs from her so far in with these lineups. So it should be an interesting matchup here tonight between the Crimson Storm and the Tigers. We will step away for a moment, and when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip between Ouachita Baptist and your Crimson Storm. You're listening to SNU Basketball.
This time we ask that you please rise for a word of prayer and then remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
ministering tonight bring you glory and honor. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. Thank you. And now for tonight's starting lineup. First for the visiting Tigers of Ouachita Baptist University. Starting at guard, a 5'5" sophomore from Monell, Arkansas, number 20, Kara Rogers. Starting at forward, a 5'11" sophomore from Texarkana, Arkansas, number 22, Eden Crow. Starting at guard, a 5'8" senior from Alva, Arkansas, number 23, Olivia Huell. Starting at guard, a 6-foot junior from Bentonville, Arkansas, number 30, Madison Britton. And starting at forward, a 5'11" sophomore from Marion, Arkansas, number 32, Jakaya Clay. In his 24th season with the Tigers, head coach Gary Crowder. And now the starting lineups for your SNU Crimson Storm. Starting in guard, a 6-foot junior from Valladolid, Spain, number 4, Irene Perez. Starting in guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Burleson, Texas, number 5, Alexis Jones. Starting in guard, a 5'11" senior from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, number 10, Adrian Berry. Starting in guard, a 5'5" senior from Rockwall, Texas, number 12, Madeline Schroeffer. And starting in forward, a 6'2" sophomore from Mustang, Oklahoma, number 14, Abby Neehus. In his first season at his alma mater, head coach, Mr. Trent Bay.
So there you have it, the starting lineups for both squads. Again, running through those again real quick for you. For Ouachita Baptist, number 20, Kara Rogers, 5'5" sophomore. Number 22, Eden Crow, 5'11" sophomore. Number 23, Olivia Huell, 5'8" senior. Number 30, Madison Britton, 6-foot junior. And number 32, Jakaya Clay, 5'11" sophomore. And again, for your Crimson Storm, the lineup changes tonight. Irene Perez and Madeline Schroeffer into the starting lineup for the Crimson Storm. They are joined by Adrian Berry, Abby Neehus, and Alexis Jones as the starting lineups. And we are set to go here from the Sawyer Center. Thanks for joining us. Should be a great matchup here tonight for both the women and the men. Hope you'll stick around after this one for the men's game. That'll tip off at 7:30 p.m. But for now, Neehus and Huell jump it up, and Perez comes away with it. Schroeffer down to the baseline, and SNU will quickly set up. Jones all the way to the basket, scoop with the left hand, and it's good. And SNU quickly on the board. Huell drives baseline, fires it out to no one, but it's tracked down there by Kara Rogers. Ouachita will go to work here. Backdoor cut there from Rogers, and she is fouled. Looked like they got Schropfer on the foul, and Kara Rogers will go to the line to shoot 2. First one is long for Rogers. Just her 3rd free throw attempt of the year so far. She was 1 for 2 coming into tonight's game. And she misses both of them, and Schropfer has the rebound. Alexis Jones with it now, and guarded by Huell. Finds Perez up at the top. Drives all the way to the basket. Off the rim, no good, but Nihus is there for the offensive rebound and puts it in. Certainly an opportunity tonight for Abby Nihus, who, again, number 13 in rebounds at 6.0 per game. And she's going to be called for the personal foul there. And that will send Eden Crow to the free throw line. Crow, a 75% foul shooter. And she hits the first. Again, potentially a big night here for Abby Nihus if she can stay out of foul trouble. Ouachita Baptist ranks last in both defensive rebounding percentage and offensive rebounding percentage. We saw SNU take advantage of Oklahoma Christian not being thorough on the defensive glass as SNU racked up the offensive rebounds and second chance points in that game. So it seems like another opportunity for SNU to do the same tonight, as Alexis Jones' layup is no good. Huell bodied up by Perez, and the ball is stolen by Barry. Perez has it up ahead to Jones. Kick in the corner, Barry for 3. It's long, but Schropfer tracks down the rebound, and SNU will reset with a new shot clock. Skip pass over to Perez. She drives in. Left-hand layup is up and good. A lot of aggression early from SNU driving to the basket. And the Crimson Storm leads 6-2. 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Clay, wild shot, no good. Wanted a foul. Long lead pass up ahead to Barry. Kicks to Perez. Now back in the corner for Barry for a 3. It's good. Picture perfect start for the Crimson Storm. As they lead 9-2 here. Perez down the lane, lays it up and is fouled.
Irene Perez, she'll be at the line shooting 1. Personal foul against the Tigers, number 22, Eden Crow.
The timeout Tigers, as SNU has opened up an 11-2 lead, 7:30 to go here in the first quarter. We'll stay here for now with them as it's a 30-second timeout. And just a picture-perfect start here for the Crimson Storm. Aggressive driving to the basket. Getting good looks at the rim, and already a terrific start. 5 of 8 from the field to start this one, and already a 3-point make for Adrian Barry as well to get the scoring going. Lineup change seemingly already paying big dividends for the Crimson Storm, as Schropfer and Perez have both forced the issue a little bit on the offensive end and have done a great job on the defensive end as well so far in this one. Meanwhile, Ouachita Baptist has managed just 2 shots so far. Do have a turnover. They do have 4 free throw attempts already through the first 2.5 minutes of this one, but just 2 shot attempts from the field, and both were misses. So Irene Perez will head to the line for 1 to complete the 3-point play, and already a substitution for the Tigers. Perez finishes it. And it's 12-2, SNU. Backdoor cut there from Huell, finds herself behind the backboard and throws it off the back of the backboard. And that'll be another turnover for the Tigers. Tigers will look to hit the backdoor cuts in a more Princeton-style offense. And Coach Trent May was saying earlier this week that there's nothing that SNU will have to do differently to defend that. Just simple awareness of where the screen's coming from and where the run's going to be. Perez tees up a three. It's perfect! And SNU has raced out to a 13-point lead. You can tell this team is just a lot more confident playing at home. And it's just a matter of time before that confidence starts to bleed over onto the road as Eden Crow knocks down the jumper. It's Ouachita's first bucket of the game, and that's going to be a foul on Eden Crow. And that's already 2 on Eden Crow. Second team foul on the Tigers as well. And SNU will inbound on the baseline. Perez drives in, wild shot. Late whistle, but they're going to get Olivia Huell on that foul. So Perez will go to the line for 2 free throws, and substitution set for Ouachita. First free throw is long from Perez. Crow will take a seat. Number 15, Riley Lavender, freshman from Brock, Texas, into the game for the first time tonight. Comes in averaging a little over 4 points a game. She's 7 of 14 from three-point range. Something SNU will have to be aware of when she's on the floor. Britton tees up a three. It's in and out, no good, and Perez has the rebound. Barry on the wing, guarded by a 6-foot Britton. A little bit of a size mismatch there for the Tigers. Great give and go with Nihus and Schrupfer, and a perfect pocket pass from Schrupfer to Nihus, and Nihus gets the foul call on Jakaya Clay. She'll go to the line for 2. First free throw's up and good. Nihus misses the second, and OBU quickly the other way. Nihus rejects Britton's shot, but the ball ricochets out to Olivia Huell. She knocks down the jumper for her first basket of the game, and it's 17-6. SNU still holding the lead there by 11, almost halfway through the first quarter. Schrupfer driving kick, Barry pulls up in the lane and knocks down the short jumper. Great confident shot from Adrian Barry, who got free in the middle of the lane and pulled up for the short jumper. And it's 19-6, SNU with a big lead early. Huell with good position on Alexis Jones there, but the pass from Britton is wide and it goes out of bounds. Over to SNU. Third turnover of the game for the Tigers. Jones drives all the way to the basket, is rejected by Clay, but she gets the foul call, and that's going to be her second foul. And that's the 5th on the Tigers. So SNU will be shooting free throws the rest of the way, and we've reached a media timeout. 4:56 to go here in the first quarter. SNU. Just kidding. Officials changed their mind on the media timeout. Not sure why, but okay, we will keep it here. So Alexis Jones at the line for 2. First one's up and good. And substitutions for OBU, number 50, Madison Rainey into the game. Number 5, Maya Gertsen into the game as well. Both sophomores, Gertsen 5'6" from Latvia, and Madison Rainey, 6-foot sophomore from Sheridan, Arkansas. The 2 free throws extend the lead to 21-6, SNU. As Adrian Berry knocks that pass out of bounds. Great intensity on both ends of the court. Huell pulls up over Jones. She's off the mark, and Perez has the rebound. Already her 3rd rebound of the game. Jones drives around Huell. Looked like Huell might have gotten a piece of it, and Rainey comes away with the rebound. Gertsen will drive on Schrupfer and kick it out to Lavender. Thought about a 3, but Adrian Berry's up to the challenge. Britton driving kick to Huell. She'll fire up a long 3 off the mark, and Schrupfer, smallest person on the court, comes down with a rebound amongst the trees. Schrupfer, hesitation, drives all the way, puts it up, no good. Nihu's there for the offensive rebound, and she scores. Nobody cut off the backside, and Abby Nihu's had an uncontested offensive rebound and layup. And the lead is now 17 as Adrian Berry comes away with a steal. She'll take it coast to coast and lay it in. And all OBU coach Gary Crowder can do is just shrug at his bench, as SNU's opened up a 19-point lead and has already scored 25 points as Nihus rejects that shot from Riley Lavender. Massey Beard comes in for Nihus. She'll take a quick break there. Beard had a strong showing in those last 2 games of 2018. The freshman from just down the road in Calumet. Went to El Reno High School. Huell, a little push off on Schrupfer, no call, but shot is off, and Jones has the rebound. Beard pivots into the post, and she double dribbled. Got a little excited with the drop step there. JC Soap into the game now, freshman from Stillwell, Oklahoma, and Adrian Berry will take a seat for the Crimson Storm. Coach May said Soap would be one of those players that is going to start to see some extended minutes just based on performance in practice and the way the game is starting to slow down for her a little bit. Britton is fouled by Perez as she took her down to the baseline, and she'll go to the line for 2. First foul on Perez, and 3rd on the Crimson Storm in the first quarter. Britton just a 58.8% free throw shooter. She misses the first. Casey Glover into the game for SNU. Alexis Jones will take a seat. Lavender will go out for OBU, and Crow back into the game with those 2 fouls. Britton will take a seat now, and Rachel Wilson into the game, 5'5" sophomore from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Schrupfer drives right by Wilson, takes it all the way to the basket and lays it in. Big aggressive play there from Madison Schrupfer. And that's the reason she's going to see more minutes as well. Crow, nice pivot off the glass and puts it in for 2. Perez gathers the errant pass back to Glover up top. And Schrupfer commits an offensive foul there on Rachel Wilson. A little bit of a late call, and that's the 2nd on Schrupfer already. And Sonia Sarda will come into the game for her. Olivia Huell sits down for OBU. Lavender back into the game. Sarda, 5'6" freshman. She's also from Spain, as well as Irene Perez. A bit of a Spanish flair on the court right now for SNU. As Perez commits a bit of a reach-in foul there. And that's going to be her second foul. A little bit whistle happy so far. That's 10 fouls in the quarter, 5 on each team. So Perez will take a seat. Kennedy Gillette set to check in at the scores table. First free throw is up and barely grazed iron from Eden Crow. And I do mean barely grazed iron. Second free throw is up and good. So a full bench lineup on the court for SNU right now. Sarda running the point. She's got Soap, Beard, Gillette, and Glover out there with her. Great look down low from Glover to Gillette, who loops around under the basket for the reverse layup. Great composure there from Gillette and an excellent find from Casey Glover. SNU still leads by 19, 29-10. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I do believe this would be SNU's highest scoring quarter so far this season, as Crow gets the shot to bank in for 2. Crow already up to 9 points in the quarter, and she's the only reason OBU's anything close in this one. Soap thought about a 3, drives and kicks. Glover will take the 3. She hit it, but 3 seconds on Massey Beard will negate the 3-pointer from Casey Glover, but hopefully Glover took note that that one went in and still be a good rep for her in getting out of that shooting slump. So OBU controls. Rainey with the right-handed hook. It's no good. Soap saves it in bounds. Nope, she stepped on the baseline. It will stay here with OBU, and they will get a new shot clock there. Lavender will inbound on the baseline. Wilson has it stripped away by Sarda. 1 on 3, so she'll wait for reinforcements. Dumps it down to Beard. Powers in with the right hand, short. But Gillette's there for the rebound. Back to Beard. Glover with the short shot. It's good. Great hustle from SNU all the way around on that play, as Gillette tracked down the offensive rebound, and Glover with the nice baby hook in the lane. We're under 30 seconds to go, first quarter. SNU 31-12. No Christmas rust from the Crimson Storm so far, as Rainey puts up the shot, no good. And SNU will hold for the final shot of the quarter. Sarda up top with it as we're under 10. She's trapped with it. Swings it to Glover. She's got to get a shot off. Puts up the runner. It's good at the buzzer. And SNU, it might be cold outside, but it is fiery hot here in the Sawyer Center, as SNU has come out from Christmas break on fire and puts up 33 in the first quarter. They hold a 33-12 lead over OBU. We'll take a break and be right back after this.
About those words, and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
Back. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU showing no signs of any Christmas rust or lethargy after the long break. Puts up a 33 spot in the first quarter on 68% shooting. Just a very impressive opening quarter for the Crimson Storm, and a lot of good things on both ends of the floor for SNU so far. Britton tees up a three from the wing for OBU, is no good. Ball is deflected by Rainey out of bounds, and SNU will take over. 9:45 to go here before halftime. OBU shot just 25%, or shooting just 25%, I should say, as Rainey deflects that, gets it back to Beard. Glover pulls up for three. It's good! Casey Glover, coming off the bench for the first time in a while, has hit her first 3 shots. She's got 7. She also hit a three-pointer that was wiped out due to a 3-second call, so really she could look at it as 4 for 4 as Rainey answers with a three-pointer from the top of the key, but a huge start for Casey Glover. Getting that confidence back, showed great signs in the first few games of the season, and after a home win over East Central on December 1st, the shooting has just gone downhill since. Gillette took steps before she put the ball on the floor. As Abby Nehus checks back into the game, Massey Beard will take a seat. But again, back to Glover. Just huge to see the ball go through the basket early in this one. Maybe the different role coming off the bench has been helpful for the freshman from Fort Gibson. Huell spins in the lane, looked like she walked. And instead they're going to get a foul call. We'll see who this is on. It's going to be on Glover. A little bit of a body shot down low. Huell just a 60% free throw shooter. These are her first attempts of the night. First one's no good. SNU doing a great job of getting the easy baskets. Already 20 points in the paint so far, and we barely played a quarter and a minute and a half here. Great entry pass from Sarda. Nehus missed the layup, but JC Soap coming from the backside gets the offensive rebound and puts it in. That hustle is why Coach May is excited to see her on the floor a little bit more going forward. Entry pass to Rainey. Spin move. Nehus was not fooled, and she rejects that one out of bounds. Alexis Jones will come in. Sonia Sarda will take a seat. That's already 3 blocks for Abby Nehus. And she had another one that was that was called a foul, but it was pretty borderline. Entry pass to Crow. Fading away from Gillette. It's no good. Nehus has the rebound, and she gets it up. Alexis Jones with it now. Drives, kicks, Soap from the elbow. It's short. Nehus, great position inside, offensive rebound, up and in. Abby Nehus is owning the paint right now. Ball goes through the hands of Rainey, and Glover comes away with it. SNU pushing tempo again, up 24 already. Drive and kick. Soap tees up a 3. It's no good. Nehus had a hand on it. It ricochets to Glover. Soap steps in, steps back, just off the rim. And Rainey clears for OBU. Rogers with it now up top. She's guarded by Glover. Nearly a double dribble there from Rogers. I guess they said it was deflected. Huell tees up a 3, and she knocks it down. That's her first three-pointer of the night. And gives her 6 points. As SNU leads 40-19. 6:40 to go here in the first half. Gillette pivots down the lane, just missed it off the rim. Was unable to spin the layup home, but a good, confident drive from Kennedy Gillette. Britton guarded by Alexis Jones, a little bit of a mismatch there. And the ball is not deflected away, just an errant pass from Britton. And goes out of bounds, and SNU will get possession in the front court. OBU now with 6 turnovers. And they're now in a 2-3 zone. Gillette from the elbow, it's short. Gets her own miss nearly, is deflected out of bounds by Rainey. But good hustle from Gillette. Certainly not shy with her shooting struggles, but certainly something you want to continue. Soap comes out after some quality minutes. Adrian Berry back into the game. Good swing around formation from SNU, but Alexis Jones forgot to get back in bounds all the way after the entry pass, and that's going to be a turnover for SNU. That's their 5th of the first half. Huell, wild shot, no good. Gets her own miss, and she's fouled by Adrian Berry. And Huell will go back to the free throw line for 2. Free throw line, the only place OBU has had an advantage so far in this one. They're 5 of 10 so far, and I think that's 6 of 11. SNU 5 of 7 from the free throw line so far. As Irene Perez will check back in for Kennedy Gillette. Perez does have those 2 fouls, so certainly needs to be careful and defend with smarts for the last 5.5 minutes of the first half. Huell hits both of them. It's 40-21 now, SNU with a lead. Adrian Berry finds herself open at the free throw line in the middle of the zone and knocks down the jumper on a line drive that might have cleared the rim by a ½ inch. Rainey gets inside, too strong off the backboard. Crow, no good as well. Nihus has the rebound and gets it over to Perez. Berry alone in the corner, and she knocks down the 3. Adrian Berry shooting the ball very well tonight. 5 of 6 now from the field, including 2 of 3 from three-point range. That's something SNU is going to need if they want to accomplish their goal of making the conference tourney. Huell pulls up at the elbow and knocks down another jumper. That's 10 points for her. 19 of the 23 Ouachita points have come from Huell and Crow. Glover harassed out top by Britton. Jones kicking the corner to Perez. She'll drive and kick herself. Great swing pass on the wing to Berry. She's short on that three-pointer. Good hustle from Perez, but Rainey is able to corral the rebound. It's her 4th. Excuse me, her 3rd. And Adrian Berry, great defensive presence to get around Huell and knock that away. And then Jones is fouled by Huell on the breakout. We've come to a stoppage here. 3:53 to go before halftime. SNU in control up 45-23. We'll be back after this short break.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should...
Give him a hug.
No.
Oh,
next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No.
No way.
Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to
Go back to
sing a
Brandon.
song for
Way.
you.
Yeah,
Sit
way.
down. It's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
Our next game for SNU women will be Saturday, January 5th. They'll be taking on Henderson State. That's a 1 o'clock tip time here at the Sawyer Center. We hope you'll come out and enjoy the action here, but if you're unable to do so, love to have you join us here on the broadcast. Again, Luke McConnell here. I'll have all the home games the rest of the way for you. Sports Information Director James Hill have you covered on all the road games, so we've got you covered throughout all of conference play for SNU basketball. As Barry drives inside, she is fouled.
Personal foul against the Tigers, number 20.
They're going to get Rogers there on the personal foul. It's her first, just the second on the team this quarter. As OBU remains in that 2-3 zone. SNU doing a nice job driving and kicking. Perez in the corner for three. It's long. Lavender comes down with the rebound. Good defense by Glover there. Clay with a step-back three-pointer. That's an air ball. And Perez has the rebound. Barry, top of the key for three. It's short. Lavender with good position on Perez gets the rebound. Drives all the way to the basket. And she is fouled. And that's going to go against Glover. That's her second foul. There's a third team foul in the quarter. So Riley Lavender will go to the line for a couple free throws. She's shooting 66.7% so far this season. First attempts of the night. First one's up and good.
Entering the game, the Ouachita Baptist, number 5, Maya
Gertson into the game. Rogers will take a seat. As SNU maintains a 21-point lead here as Lavender readies for the second free throw. And it's good, and SNU's lead is 45-25, 2:50 to go before halftime. SNU cooled off significantly from that first quarter outburst. Just 5 of 14 from the field so far without a free throw attempt. Glover fires up a deep three. It's no good. Probably a little bit long there for Glover as far as distance on that shot. Backdoor cut there by Britton. Got behind Perez. She's able to lay it in for two. Clay just waited patiently on Britton to make her move and was able to find her open for the layup. Glover controlling up top in that 2-3 zone, gets it inside to Alexis Jones. Step through with the left hand is wild and no good. And Clay with a shoulder to Jones and a little stare down between the two. And that's an offensive foul on Riley Lavender with a little bit of a push off there. And that's a couple times Jakaya Clay has thrown a little shoulder one way or another on either end. And SNU still up 18, a minute and a half to go before halftime. OBU much more aggressive defensively here in this 2-3 zone. SNU finding it difficult to get inside. Glover for three is no good. Nihus, the offensive rebound, puts it up and in with the left hand. Abby Nihus having a great game so far. That's her fourth offensive rebound. Stops a 1-for-7 skid as Gertson tees up a three-pointer and knocks it down. We're under a minute to go now here in the first half. SNU leading 47-30. And Coach Trent May will call timeout. Be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. He draws up a play here for SNU's presumptive last possession of the first half. What has been a terrific half for SNU. They're at 51.4% from the field, 4 of 11 from three-point range. Again, cooled off a lot here in the second quarter, just 6 of 18 in the period. 2 of 8 from three-point range, and without a free throw. That 2-3 zone that OBU has employed here in the second quarter has limited the driving lanes for SNU and has forced them to settle for outside jumpers. They've still done a good job of getting as many good looks as they have and still, again, maintain a 17-point lead. So Jones, Berry, Perez. Shot clock was inadvertently reset. So we're resetting the clock here as a couple seconds ticked off before and we're all set here. 20 seconds on the shot clock here, 47 on the game clock for SNU as they go into their set. Perez, kick it in the corner to Jones, drives in. Shot is no good, and she runs into Huell. It's going to be a foul on Alexis Jones. That's her first. Just the fourth team foul, so no free throws for OBU. So we're at 27.5 seconds to go, and SNU will extend some full court pressure here to force OBU to dribble early, and the ball is deflected off Jones' foot out of bounds. Sonia Sarda coming into the game for Irene Perez, who has those 2 personal fouls. A smart move from Coach Trent May. Crow inbounding on the sidelines, deflected out of bounds by Barry into the first row of seats. And we'll do it again. Shot clock is off. And SNU still leading 47-30. Huell on the wing, guarded by Alexis Jones, picked up her dribble. Ball's deflected and loose on the deck, but Britton comes away with it. Clay with a hop, step, and a jump. And that's going to be a travel on Jakaya Clay, who did not like the call, but it was absolutely the correct one. And now SNU with 6.5 seconds to go before halftime. Sarda picks it up, hustles into the front court, finds Glover in the corner for 3, and it's in and out. Tip at the buzzer's no good by Nihus. 2 great looks for SNU there right at the buzzer, neither fall, but either way, SNU with a terrific first half and come away with a 47-30 lead at the break. We'll come back after this with first half stats and analysis. You're listening to SNU Basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. Just a few minutes before we get the second half underway between the Crimson Storm and the Ouachita Baptist Tigers. As SNU holding a 47-30 lead at the break, courtesy of a 33-point first quarter. SNU came out on fire from the field, both inside the arc and out. Did a great job of getting into the paint for easy buckets and knocked down a couple of three-pointers as well. Just an outstanding first half from the Crimson Storm. The second quarter, a little bit of a different story. It did shoot just 28.6% and 2 for 9 from three-point range. Didn't get to the foul line at all either there in the second quarter, as OBU went to a 2-3 zone that shut off the driving lanes and made it difficult for SNU to get off good looks outside of jumpers and three-pointers. Running through the first half stats, SNU finished the first half shooting 47.5% and 4 of 12 from three-point range. That's 33%. 5 of 7 from the free throw line. 8 assists led by Sonia Sarda and Alexis Jones with 2 each. 22-17, SNU won the rebounding battle in the first half, capped off by Abby Nehus's 7 rebounds. Those are a game high. She also had 4 blocks and 9 points. She's doing a great job in the paint on both ends of the floor for the Crimson Storm. SNU is led by Adrian Berry. She had 12 points in the first half on 5 of 8 shooting. She also had 3 steals, really getting down and dirty on the defensive end, getting on the floor for a couple loose balls, and had several other deflections as well. For OBU, they were led in scoring by Olivia Huell. She had 10 points on 3 of 8 shooting. Eden Crow finished the first half with 9 points. And then a host of Rainey, Britton, and Gertson all had 3 points each. And Riley Lavender rounded out the scoring with 2 points. OBU shot just 33% from the field, 3 of 8 from three-point range. They did go to the foul line 14 times and knocked down 9 of them. They also had 9 turnovers in the first half, just 5 turnovers in the first half for SNU in an area that has been a struggle for SNU this season. SNU averaging 19.1 turnovers per game, so 5 in the first half, well below their season average so far. SNU dominated the points in the paint to the tune of 28-6. Also second chance points, 14-4. So just a terrific performance there. SNU ended up with 10 offensive rebounds in the first half, 6 for OBU, leading to that 14-4 discrepancy in second chance points. Big difference in the first half for the two squads. OBU attempted just 27 shots while SNU was able to put up 40 first half. Part of that courtesy of the dominance on the offensive boards, but also the turnovers and just the general aggressive nature of SNU's first half. So as we get ready for the second half, we'll see if SNU is able to continue that aggressive nature from the first half and see if they can get back to the way things were at the beginning of the game. Original starting lineups on the court for both teams to start the second half. Perez, Jones, Berry, Nehus, and Trupfer in for SNU. As Berry tees up a 3 from the wing right in front of the bench and knocks it down. Great start for SNU. Just 10 seconds into the second half. For OBU, it's Crow, Britton, Clay, Huell, and Rogers. As Crow puts up a wild shot, it's an air ball and it goes out of bounds. Basically a turnover there for the Tigers. And SNU comes back with it. OBU still in that 2-3 zone that was very successful there in the second quarter. We'll see if SNU's kind of drawn up a counter to that. We'll see what they're able to do on the offensive end. Perez gets inside, drives, kick in the corner. Barry, another three. It's long. Perez gets inside of Clay for the rebound, and SNU will reset. Jones penetrates, kicks, Schrepfer for three. It's in and out, no good. Perez battling for the loose ball. We've got a jump ball, and the alternating possession will give it to OBU. A couple great looks there for SNU from three-point range. Neither were able to fall, and good hustle from Perez getting inside for those offensive rebounds. Britton for three. It's long. Schrepfer is fouled as Eden Crow went over the back, and she comes up holding her left ankle.
Personal foul against the Tigers, number 22, Eden Crow, her third person, first team foul.
That's her third foul. First foul of the third quarter for the Tigers. And that's going to be her fourth as she reaches in on Schrepfer and catches her across the chest. And Riley Lavender will come in for Crow. Looks like that ankle is bothering her a little bit as well as those four fouls. So 2 fouls on OBU here in the third quarter. Perez drives and kicks to Barry, and that's an offensive foul as Jakaya Clay stepped in and took the charge on Irene Perez, and that's going to be her third foul. Perez with a little laugh as she jogs down the court, and necessarily agree with the call there, but her third and first on SNU here in the quarter. Rogers gets caught by the wall of Abby Nehus, and Barry comes up with it, takes it all the way in and lays it in over Madison Britton. Adrian Barry up to 15 points now. Excuse me, that gives her 17. Olivia Huell draws the foul on Abby Nehus. Didn't see a lot of contact there, but that's going to be Abby Nehus' second personal foul. And Olivia Huell will go to the line for 2. First free throw is short, but bounces off the backboard and in. Second free throw is up and also good. 52-32 SNU. Already stretched their lead back out to 20. With a strong start to the second half here from Adrian Barry. 5 quick points. That pass deflected by Britton and then deflects off of Alexis Jones out of bounds. Second turnover of the second half for SNU. Lavender drives baseline. Good lead for Jakaya Clay, who missed the left-handed layup. Looking for a foul call. There's nothing close to contact there. Jones gets in the paint, but she traveled. Coming to a stop there. A little bit of foot shufflage instead of clean jump stop there. And another turnover for the Crimson Storm, who still lead by 20 here. 7 minutes to go and change in the third quarter. Lavender well off with the three-pointer. Huell with the save, and Britton's able to track it down. Shot clock did not reset, so only 12 on the shot clock here for the Tigers. Huell picks up her dribble out top. Has to get it over to Britton. A little bit of a high dribble there. Clay jab steps for 3. That's an air ball. And they're going to get Alexis Jones with the foul on the box out of Olivia Huell. That's her second foul, third on the team. And Madison Britton will inbound on the baseline for the Tigers. Lobs to Huell. lost it, but Lavender comes up with it. Tries to go baseline, and Alexis Jones shuts her down there. Stretford gets caught there with a little reach-in foul. That's her third foul, and now the fourth team foul. So OBU will be shooting free throws the rest of the quarter. Already a 16-7 advantage at the free throw line. And the 6-point difference in the makes. Britton tees up a long three, almost gets stuck between the rim and the backboard. It's no good. Nihus grabbed the rebound and is called for traveling as she attempted to gain control of it. So OBU will maintain possession here in a possession that has lasted well over a minute. If this was football, this would be the equivalent of a 5-6 minute drive. And finally, we have a turnover of OBU's own as they throw a pass out of bounds. We've come to a break in the action, and we'll take timeout with them. 6:22 to go in the third quarter. SNU holding a 52-32 lead over OBU. You're listening to SNU basketball.
Hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. Just a reminder, our next broadcast will be on Saturday as SNU continues conference play against Henderson State. The Reddies in town for a double dip here with the women and the men. Pregame will start at 12:45 with the women, and we'll tip things off at 1 o'clock between Crimson Storm and the Reddies. As Jones dribbling in, lost the ball. Lavender comes away with it for OBU. Bit sloppy here in the second half for SNU. So far already 5 turnovers in the third quarter after just 5 in the first half. OBU so far unable to take advantage of them as the lead has actually grown since halftime. Clay with the left-hander is no good. Schrupfer comes away with the rebound. Great defense there by Abby Nihus. Schrupfer goes all the way. Scoop to the rim is no good, and Clay comes away with the rebound there. Lob inside to Huell, and that's a rejection by Nihus. But they're going to call her for the foul. Not sure what else Abby Nihus could do. She put a roof on Huell's shot attempt. Huell pushed the basketball up into her arms. But Nihus is called for the foul. That's her third, 5th team foul. So OBU will shoot free throws the rest of the way. Casey Glover comes in for Alexis Jones. Huell with her second free throw is also good. She's now 7 of 8 from the free throw line and has 14 points. That's a team high. Adrian Berry with a game high 17 for SNU. Foul there called on Kara Rogers. Maya Gertson comes quickly in for her. Barry thought about a three. Instead swings it over to Glover. Barry in the corner for three. Quick bounce. It's no good. And they're going to get Madeline Trupfer with the foul over the back there, and that's going to be her fourth. And we've got a stoppage in play here as we head to timeout. 4:47 to go here in the third quarter. SNU with an 18-point lead over the Tigers. We'll take a break and be right back after this. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading this one 52-34 with 4:47 to go here in the third quarter, and SNU facing a little bit of foul trouble now as we get into the second half here. Irene Perez has three. Abby Nehus just picked up her third foul. And Madeline Trupfer now stuck with 4 personal fouls. Also, as Riley Lavender will go to the line for 2 free throws. OBU has a decided advantage here at the free throw line. These are going to be attempts 19 and 20 for the Tigers. She misses the first. SNU went 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the first quarter and have not attempted a free throw since. OBU already with 3 team fouls, so you'd hope that SNU could be aggressive enough to draw those other 2 and get to the free throw line a few more times. Now here in the third quarter, this 2-3 zone has forced SNU to settle for a lot of jump shots. And not really any good ones inside the paint. Nehus missed the shot. But Jakaya Clay is called for the foul on the rebound. It's going to be her third, 4th team foul. Glover inbounding on the baseline. Gets it in just in time to Barry. Glover's pass is stolen by Britton, and she'll get the run out layup to fall, and the lead is down to 16 here. SNU has not scored in almost 4 minutes now, and they're 1 for their last 6 from the field and 1 of their last 10 from 3. Make that 1 of 7 and 1 of 11 as Barry airballs a 3-pointer from the wing. Alexis Jones back into the game. Casey Glover will take a seat. And SNU has gone cold. It's a 6-0 run for the Tigers, who aren't much better from the field. That layup from Britton was their first bucket in their last 8 attempts. Lavender comes off a screen for 3. It's very long. Alexis Jones with a good box out. Ball goes out of bounds over to SNU. Kennedy Gillette will check into the game for Adrian Barry. Gillette coming off the bench for the first time this season. Had some good minutes there in the first half before going out with 2 fouls. Jones for 3 is short. Rebounds controlled by Lavender, and a touch foul on Irene Perez on the rebound there, and that's her 4th foul. Barely any contact there, and the official very quick with the whistle, as they've been really all night. There's 28 fouls now called in this one. Lavender's first free throw is good. Madison Rainey enters the game for Ja'Kiah Clay. Tough outing for Clay. She's scoreless on 0 of 5 shooting. And the lead is down to 14 as Lavender hits both free throws. SNU trying to push tempo to get ahead before the zone is set. Gillette drives baseline. Bounce pass knocked away by Huell to Britton. Bounce pass up ahead to Huell, and she lays it in. Timeout SNU, as the Crimson Storm are running into a bit of trouble here. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. We'll take timeout with them. 52-40. SNU on the verge of letting this game get a little too close. We'll be right back after this.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
Give him a hug.
No. Next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No.
No way.
Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
It's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 1950.
Going back to the Sawyer Center, SNU has seen their 22-point lead shrink to just 12. Irene Perez, wild shot, no good. Abby Nehus there for the offensive rebound and putback. And that's their first bucket in over 5 minutes of game action. Comes at a very good time for the Crimson Storm. Rainey, rejected by Nehus. Perez pushing tempo. Great bounce pass to Jones, who lays it in but missed it. Ball's deflected out of bounds. Looked like it went off Huell, but instead it went off Jones. So SNU misses a golden opportunity there. And OBU controls, down 14. Lavender comes off the screen, short on the free throw line jumper. Britton gets the offensive rebound, misses it. Huell with the rebound, and she's fouled. And that's on Nehus, and I'm really not sure what else Abby Nehus can do in the post. Does a great job of staying vertical, but is still called for the foul. I'm not really sure what else she can do, and she'll check out. That's her 4th personal foul. Massey Beard into the game now for the Crimson Storm, and SNU looking for offense to come from anywhere. That's 3 players now with 4 fouls. Perez, Nehus, and Schrepfer. Perez is still out there right now as we're down to 2 minutes in the third quarter. SNU clinging to a 12-point lead. And this game really turned for SNU when OBU went to a 2-3 zone. Oh, great backdoor cut from Perez and a great pass from Massey Beard for the layup. But this game really turned when Ouachita went to a 2-3 zone and did not allow SNU to get any easy looks inside. that they got in the first quarter. SNU just not a good enough shooting team at this point to make the defense pay and able to shoot over the top. Or Rainey is able to shoot over the top as she knocks down the three-pointer for OBU. Big response there from the Tigers. We're under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Just 5 on the shot clock. Gillette has to fire up a three. It's long. Hustles to get the offensive rebound and throws it off of Beard, or maybe it hit her after she threw it off Rainey. Not sure what happened there, but either way, it will be OBU ball with 48 seconds to go. Adrian Berry checks back in. Eden Crow checks back in as well for OBU. She has 4 fouls. Britton fires up a three over Berry, and it's good. And the lead is down to single digits here for SNU. Coach Trent May says to hold for one shot here. 21 on the shot clock. Gillette controlling up top. Now Jones with it now. Gillette finds space on the baseline, and she's fouled by Riley Lavender. So Kennedy Gillette will go to the free throw line with 6.4 seconds to go in the third quarter. Gillette shooting 79% from the foul line this season. First free throw is up and good for Gillette. Huell checks back in for Crow. That's SNU's first free throw since the first quarter. And it just now gives them double figures in the quarter. The second one is also good. That's 11 points in the quarter. And then Alexis Jones forces a 5-second call on Olivia Huell. And SNU will get the last shot of the quarter, perhaps. 6 seconds left. Jones inbounding. Gets it into Soap. Fires up a three from top of the key. It's off, no good. Huell has the rebound. Fires up a half-court heave at the buzzer. It's off the backboard, no good. A good defensive stand there from SNU at the end of the period. Leaves them with a 10-point lead going into the final stanza. It's 58-48 SNU. We'll be back for the finish right after this. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center as we enter the final quarter here between the Crimson Storm and the Tigers. SNU holding a 58-48 lead. They led by 17 at halftime. They were outscored in that period 18-11. Both teams shot 4 of 15 from the field. The difference being one more three-point make for OBU and an 8 for 10 free throw showing by the Tigers. Entry pass into Soap. Short jumper's no good. Gets her own miss, follows it, and she's fouled. Great hustle there from Soap to follow her own miss. So that's going to be Eden Crow's 5th, and she is gone. So JC Soap will go back to the free throw line for the first time. She's 1 for 6 from the field tonight, but she's done a great job of hustling and getting some offensive rebounds. She's got 4 rebounds so far. 2 of those are on the offensive end as Soap hits the first free throw. Again, the biggest difference in this game, the free throw line, where SNU is now 8 of 11, and OBU 17 of 24 from the foul line. It's really helped OBU stay in this game. Adrian Berry with the deflection, ran after it to no avail. 15 on the shot clock as OBU will inbound beside their bench. Abby Nehus in the game. She's got 4. We'll have to be very careful in the post as officials have called any contact down low very, very tight as Alexis Jones is run over and is called for the foul there. A little bit of contact before Huell went through her there. Her 3rd, first on the team in the quarter. Soap guarding Gertzen up top. Rainey's knocked down a couple threes from the top of the key. Will not take one there. Huell drives baseline, has it knocked away out of bounds by Alexis Jones. 11 seconds on the shot clock. OBU will now inbound on the baseline. Adrian Berry knocks that one away. SNU's been very active in the passing lanes tonight. A lot of deflections. They've come up with 6 steals. They've gotten their hands on quite a few other passes as well. A wild shot from Huell is no good, and Berry has the miss. Entry pass is stolen away by Britton. Britton kind of a stretch 4 for OBU. She's 6 foot. Those long arms got in the passing lane there. 3-pointer on the pass from Gertzen is very long, no good, and the ball goes out of bounds off Huell's leg. Schrupfer into the game with her 4 fouls for Kennedy Gillette. Kara Rogers into the game for Gertzen for OBU. So it's Berry, Jones, Soap, Schrupfer, and Nehus on the court for SNU. Both Schrupfer and Nehus have 4 fouls apiece. No one really in foul trouble for OBU at this point, at least of those on the court. Under 10 on the shot clock. Alexis Jones got to make something happen here. Soap will be the one to pull the trigger from the top of the key and knocks down the 3. Huge 3-pointer from the freshman, and SNU has pushed their lead back to 14. Rainey showing go and gets the layup to fall over Nehus. He was playing a little bit less aggressive with those 4 fouls. Can't blame her with some of the calls that have gone against her tonight. Jones open, does not pull the trigger. She's just 1 of 7 from 3-point range this season. And that's 14% coming into tonight. There's 5 on the shot clock. Soap gets inside, kicks to Jones. 2 on the shot clock. Schrupfer's got to put it up at the buzzer. Draws iron. Ball's deflected out of bounds. Ball did hit the rim. One of the officials was going to signal for a shot clock violation, but the ball did hit the rim. And the rebound deflected out of bounds off OBU. Coach Gary Crowder for OBU looking for an explanation. He gets it. And Ja'Kiah Clay back into the game for Madison Rainey. Jones inbounding on the sideline. And SNU will have a fresh shot clock after a haphazard possession there. Soap traveled. Another turnover for SNU. That's their 9th here in the second half. And an errant pass from Rogers to Huell. The ball goes out of bounds. JC Soap will check out. Irene Perez back into the game. So the original starting lineup back on the floor for SNU. Barry, Jones, Perez, Schrupfer, and Nihus. 3 of those have 4 fouls, and Alexis Jones has 3. Schrupfer looked like she was fouled on the drive by Huell, no call, and Britton comes away with another steal. It's her 3rd steal of the game. Clay, scoop layup is no good, and then Huell commits a foul on Alexis Jones, going for the rebound.
Personal foul against the Tigers, number 23, Olivia Huell, her 3rd personal, 2nd team foul.
Second on the team, that's Huell's 3rd foul. Again, not really any foul trouble for Ouachita. Huell and Clay both have 3, and Rogers and Lavender each have 2. Those are the only people who've committed a foul besides Crow's 5, and she's already out. Schrupfer, fake pass. That's an offensive foul on Schrupfer, who barely grazed Huell. That's going to be Schrupfer's 5th foul. So that's going to be it for Madeline Schrupfer. And Casey Glover will check into the game for her. 2nd team foul as we're under 6 minutes to go here in the final period. SNU holding a 62-50 lead. Britton, baseline shot's no good. Alexis Jones had the box out, but Huell attempted to go for the rebound, and that drew the 4th personal foul on Alexis Jones. 3rd team foul on SNU. Rainey back into the game for Lavender. And then Clay traveled, trying to go for the long pass. A stretch pass, it looked like, and attempting to stretch it out, she dragged her pivot foot. Perez in the lane, off the glass and in. And that snaps a 2.5-minute scoreless drought for both teams. Great defense by Nihus on the rejection of Clay. Perez comes away with it. Swing pass in the corner, Glover up top to Jones, and SNU will settle it back down. Barry in the corner, quick trigger for 3, and it's good! Great ball movement from SNU, finds Adrian Barry in the corner, and suddenly the lead is back up to 17. Rainey off the glass, no good. Huell is fouled on the rebound by Jones, and that is her 5th foul. Really not sure what Jones could do besides box out because that's all she did. But either way, she picks up her 5th foul, and we've reached a stoppage in action. 4:39 to go in this one. It's 67-50 SNU. We'll be right back after this.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon. All right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
Okay, guys.
Welcome back. SNU's clamped down on the defensive end here in the 4th quarter. They forced OBU into just 1 of 7 shooting so far here in the period, and 9 points to show on the offensive end for SNU, courtesy of 2 of 3 from 3-point range so far in the quarter, and the lead has been pushed back to 17, 67-50. OBU had cut it to 8 late in the 3rd quarter, but SNU has responded well to the pressure of handling a big lead. And they're looking to close out their second conference win of the season here. Errant pass goes out of bounds from Britton to Rogers. JC Soap into the game for Alexis Jones, who's now fouled out with 5 fouls. Entry pass to Berry. Soap for 3. It's no good, off to the right. And Rainey clears for OBU. Huell with it now on the left wing. Britton thought about a deep 3. She'll bring it back out. Clay lost it. Rainey pulls up for 3, and it's rejected by Abby and taken away by Berry. And that's number 4 on Jakaya Clay. Who's 4th on the team, so SNU will inbound on the sideline in front of the OBU bench. Chance to run some clock and get a good look here to extend the lead, which stands at 67-50 in favor of the Crimson Storm. Glover comes right down and shoots a 3. Probably not the shot Coach Trent May wanted. And a little exchange between Glover and Coach May tells the tale there. Fouls on Rainey on the rebound. Inbounds pass rejected out of bounds by Huell. SNU will swap sides of the basket and inbound again. Quickly into Perez. She gets inside of Rainey, who rejects her shot. And OBU comes away with it. Rogers with it. Entry pass into Rainey. Turns on Nihus and scores with a right-handed hook. Timeout SNU. Be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 3:14 to go in this one. SNU holding a 67-52 lead. And again, SNU playing much better at home than they have on the road. Although they have struggled since an opening quarter that saw them score 33 points. SNU has scored just 34 points in the 3 quarters since. And a big reason why is that 2-3 zone from Ouachita Baptist has really thrown SNU's offense for a loop. They've been unable to generate good shots inside. They do have 36 points in the paint so far tonight. 28 of those at halftime. And SNU will inbound, after this timeout on the sideline in front of their own bench. Little substitution question here as Riley Lavender was looking to check in. And they're not letting her check in out of the timeout. Perez will inbound on the sidelines here. She gets it into Glover. Perez with the floater down the lane and scores. Great play from Irene Perez. That's 15 points for her to go along with 7 rebounds. Seems like a quiet night for her, but you look up and she's had a major impact on this game, even with all the foul trouble. Jakaya Clay finally gets a layup to go. That's her first bucket of the game, first points of the game. And she's been working that driving scoop left-handed layup all night long. Berry, driving kick to Perez. She fires up a 3. It's very long. Berry has it. Shot did not hit the rim, so shot clock did not reset. Soap gets inside, throws it off the backboard, and good. And Soap will go to the line for 2. For 1 to finish the 3-point play. And that's 5 fouls on Jakaya Clark. So she will take a seat. Riley Lavender will check in for her. Zoe Shield Knight at the scorers table to check in, and she will come in for Abby Nehus. Abby 11 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks in this one. Just a force on the defensive end with that shot blocking presence. Soap finishes off the 3-point play for the Crimson Storm. Leads 72-54, just over 2 minutes to go in this one. Perez almost got caught with her hand in the cookie jar there, but no call. She lives to play another possession. Rainey steps back for 3. In and out, no good. That foul, I believe, is going to go on JC Soap on the box out. And Kara Rogers will go to the free throw line for free throws. She has not scored tonight. Started the game for OBU. First free throw up is no good. She's 0 for 3 from the free throw line so far tonight. Kennedy Gillette will check in for Irene Perez. Sonia Sarda into the game for Adrian Berry. As Coach May begins to empty the bench a little bit for the Crimson Storm. Another free throw is long. Rogers been long on all 4 of her free throw attempts tonight. Gillette from the elbow is short. Quick pass up ahead to Britton. She'll drive in on Glover and is fouled. I believe that's going to go on Gillette. Nope, that's going to go on Glover. That's her 3rd personal foul. And Madison Britton will go to the line for 2. First free throw is no good. Again, big difference in tonight's game. OBU with 27 free throw attempts so far. And that's number 28. Timeout OBU as Britton hits the free throw. It's now 72-55, just a minute 34 to go in this one. SNU looks to be on the verge of their second conference win. They'll move to 3-1 here at the Sawyer Center. And with half their games remaining here at the Sawyer Center after this one, including a key run in February where they will have 6 straight home games. You like the odds here for a good showing in conference play if SNU is able to continue the strong play that they've demonstrated here at the Sawyer Center so far this season. Gillette gets it into Shield Knight. Gets it back, and she'll work it up against a little bit of full court press for the Tigers, who give that up, and Sarda is fouled by Riley Lavender, her third, and Sarda will go to the line for 2. Sarda's first free throw is up and good, and the bench clears for OBU. Number 3, Taylor Wells into the game. Number 10, Jesse Bennett. 45, Laura Spradlin. Number 12, Rachel Wilson, all in. They join Riley Lavender on the court for the Tigers. Lavender hoists up a three-pointer. It's no good, and Gillette goes high for the rebound. As SNU going to move to 3-8 overall this season. It's going to be 2-3 in conference play. So despite the rough start to the year for SNU right there in the middle of the pack for conference play is Soap caught shuffling the feet there with a turnover. 12 turnovers here in the second half for SNU. We're under a minute to go as Jesse Bennett controls. Wilson for 3. It's off the mark, no good. That one goes out of bounds over to the Crimson Storm. 39.4 seconds to go. Glover gets it up court quickly. A lot of good things to take away from this one as Gillette travels. Not really sure where, but okay. A lot of confused faces on that particular call. Spradlin with it. Up at the top of the elbow. Wilson will try a long 2. It's off the rim, no good. And Shield Knight has it. And SNU can dribble this one out. And that's it. SNU, your winner tonight, 74-55 over Ouachita Baptist. Big win for the Crimson Storm. They got out to a terrific start here in the first quarter, scoring 33 points, a season high in a quarter. They were sizzling from the field, 70% nearly in the first quarter. And the rest of the way, held on. They held off a strong rally in the third quarter with a strong fourth quarter. Outscored the Tigers 16-7 in the fourth period after OBU had cut it to 8 late in the third quarter. Going over the final stats for SNU, Adrian Berry led the team in scoring with 20 points, 8 of 14 from the field and 4 of 10 from three-point range. Nice to see her bounce back after some poor shooting performances in the 2018 half of the season. Irene Perez new to the starting lineup this season, 15 points and 7 rebounds. Abby Nehus, 11 points, a team-high 9 rebounds and 7 blocks for the sophomore from Mustang. Great bench production tonight from the Crimson Storm as well. Casey Glover, 7 first-half points off the bench. J.C. Soap finished with 9 points off the bench. Sonia Sarda finished with 2. Kennedy Gillette had 4. Madeline Schrupfer played with foul trouble most of the night. Only played 16 minutes before fouling out. She had 2 points, and Alexis Jones, 4 points. Just 1 of 7 from the field, but she did have a team-high 5 assists. SNU finished with 13 assists on 28 made baskets. They won the rebounding battle 43-31, had 15 offensive rebounds and 20 second-chance points. Dominated time in the paint, 38 points to 14 points for Ouachita Baptist. For the Tigers, Olivia Huell led the scoring with 18 points. Madison Rainey had 10 points. Those were the only 2 in double figures. Eden Crow had 9 points before fouling out, and Madison Britton also with 9 points. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Adrian Berry and Coach Trent May. You are listening to SNU Basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center after SNU's 74-55 win over Ouachita Baptist. We're joined now by senior Adrian Berry, and after a 20-point performance, and Adrian, good to see you back in a groove shooting the basketball. How was it tonight?
It felt good. You know, I just shot my shot. Coach said, if you love your shot, shoot it. So that's what I did.
You guys got off to an absolutely sizzling start, something that probably most weren't necessarily expecting, both, just coming off the long break. What was the key to that start?
For us, it was pushing the ball in transition and just being there for each other. We've had a slow start, but we're there. We work hard day in and day out, and I just had to make sure our team was there and just ready to play. Yeah.
You guys have really had the home court magic so far this season, just completely different as far as your performances here versus on the road.
Yes.
Although it's been a while since you've been on the road at this point.
Yes, it has.
Have you been able to gain a lot of confidence here the past couple weeks at home?
Yes. Since it's home court, home court advantage, and that's what we're trying to take as much advantage of that as we can. So, yeah.
Now, you guys were kind of a little bit flustered, if you will, by the 2-3 zone. They kind of limited you the rest of the way as far as getting inside. What was so tough about what they were doing with their 2-3 zone?
With the 2-3 zone, they were really long and they were active and they had their hands up and everything. So we just had to make sure that we were attacking the glass and drive and kick out to shooters. So that's the main key that we had to do to win the game, basically.
What's been your message as one of the senior leaders on this team? What's been your message to this group as you guys have worked through these early season struggles and are starting to gain a little bit of footing here?
For me, I tell my girls, just have fun. We're out there, we're doing our best, we're having fun in practice, we're having fun in games, That's about it. I mean, I tell them work hard every day and we'll get the dub. We'll get it.
Congratulations, Adrian.
Thank you.
Again, a 74-55 win for SNU over Ouachita Baptist tonight. Adrian Berry finished with 20 points, and when we come back, we'll be joined by head coach Trent May. Awesome.
Sweet.
Thanks,
Thank
Adrian.
you. Thank you.
Good job, baby.
Is there dinner?
I presume there was, but it may have been a wrong assumption. But all right.
What did he say on that travel?
Oh, hold on. You're still hot.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. We're joined by head coach Trent May, and Coach May, the home court cooking continues for you guys. Another solid win here at the Sawyer Center.
Yeah, be careful how you say home court cooking.
No
comment. That's it.
Just a sizzling start for you guys in the first quarter. It seemed like everything was going right for you guys, both offensively and defensively in particular. What was the key to that start for you guys?
Great energy. That was one of the main focuses pregame was making sure that we played with great energy and let that be spurned from the defensive side of things, not just offense. It feels good to make shots. Let's make sure our energy, that we're consistent. That's a controllable. You're not banking on a shot to go in defensively. What you're trying to do is, make sure you're getting the passing lanes and make sure you get tips, which leads to steals, leads to runouts. And so we just did a good job moving our feet, staying low and hitting those boards and really pushing the ball in transition. And because we did those things, it gave us opportunity to really run out. We rebounded the ball hard, pushed the ball hard, and got some good layups early.
Now, in the rest of the game, 2-3 zone for OBU kind of threw you guys off a little bit. What was so difficult about that zone in particular that they were doing?
Well, and then not to correct you, I don't know if it threw us off. We had to slow down, and then we just didn't hit those open shots that I thought we did. I mean, we had some really good looks, and that's the difference when you come down and you have to stop. When you have the ball on your forehead, which that's not where the ball ever goes. When you start being, not aggressive and you're, kind of, telegraphing your passes and not looking around, and not being sharp and crisp and attacking the middle was wide open. We kept saying, attack the middle. We finally did that in the second half, and it was much, it was late when we did it, but they were crucial baskets at that time. Sustain the lead with those shots, but so I think they did a good job mixing that up. But I wish we could have been a little bit better, just staying aggressive and really looking to score inside. That's how we got a big lead in the first quarter, was attacking, and so we kind of stopped and then we settled for outside shots, and when those weren't going, and then that again the energy kind of then it filtered over to our defense, unfortunately, and then we had some lulls and too many for me.
Now, with those lulls, the lead got down to 8 there late in the third quarter. What did you tell your team in that last time out you took there?
I don't know if I was. I think it was more of a yelling thing than I was telling them. But it's just it came back to the controllables. Our passes are being tipped. We're not. We're just kind of almost like playing. Not to lose versus playing to win. And if you watch the beginning of the game, it mattered that we were on the attack. We were the aggressors on both ends of the floor. And so when you stop doing those things, and you can still be aggressive in a zone. And so when we stopped doing those things, and they started getting some momentum, and it's just like I told them at halftime, like the NBA, they always say there's always going to be a run. And so I tried to encourage them and said, let's be the opposite of that. Let's not let that happen. It did, but also we weathered it, and we came back and we got a nice win. And just proud of the girls for staying in there, because it could have got 8 points to 6 points to 4-2, and they made sure that didn't happen, and we hit some timely buckets. And but it was a lot better shot selection.
Absolutely, and then made a couple lineup changes tonight. How'd you feel everybody responded to those changes?
I thought they did a good job. I liked our energy. I felt good about that lineup, and also felt about the girls who were in those starting opportunities, coming off the bench and doing some good things. So sometimes, it can be a little thing. Sometimes starting versus coming off the bench, and you just never know until you try it. But we needed to make a change, and I liked our production tonight, and that doesn't mean it's going to happen every night out, but it was a good start tonight. And 2019, I had to make a switch, and I'm glad I did. But I think everyone was comfortable with it. And it's just you just got to push through, and if you don't like your spot, earn it back, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Coach, hopefully the lineup and home success continues on Saturday. Another big matchup against Henderson State, and we'll look forward to that then.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for all you guys do. Happy New Year. It's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. We'll be back on the air for the women's game Saturday, 1 o'clock. Pregame will start at 12:45. We'll take a short break now, and when we come back, we'll be previewing the men's matchup against Ouachita Baptist. You're listening to SNU Basketball.